Welcome to Imagotherapy. So glad you're here for the Imagotherapy exercise Soul Winter. There are times in life that feel like winter. This can be due to the season, or it can happen because of illness, suffering, or loneliness. Everything becomes heavy, strenuous, laborious, cold. And unfortunately, everyday life rarely allows us to truly enter into this rest and recover as we would actually need. Instead, we have to keep functioning somehow because we carry responsibility for others, for work, for ourselves. This exercise wants to open for you a short moment of rest, a gentle immersion into another state, perhaps like a warm cup of tea or a deep breath, a brief pause amid all the hustle of life. You are invited to take a little time to come home to yourself in this state of tiredness, exhaustion, and cold. Perhaps prepare a warm cup of your favorite tea for yourself and have it waiting nearby. If you like, you can lie down comfortably on a mat or your bed. Feel free to cover yourself with a warm, heavy blanket if that feels good to you. Pause here briefly if you'd like to make these preparations. You can stop this exercise at any time, whenever you sense it's no longer pleasant. When the times of cold arrive, of the north wind, of winter, of snow, we become tired. There is this heaviness that settles over us like a thick coat. We feel it in the body, but also inwardly, in the slowing down, the lack of desire, the weakness, the stillness. And something inside resists. Thoughts arise like, I have to pull myself together. I mustn't let myself go. Or, I should, I ought to, I could. But perhaps you also sense another movement, this deep longing simply to rest. Maybe what you need right now is permission. I am allowed to rest for a while. I don't have to do anything at the moment. And that's okay. Because it is. To everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. To everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. Everything has its time. Rest has its time too. Even God rested on the seventh day from all his works. It seems to me that God has given every person an inner clock with its own rhythm, its own times, and it can be helpful, when possible, to listen to this inner clock once in a while, to give it space. This life ticks to a different beat, one that often doesn't match our own sense of things. And sometimes we experience the time of winter, the time of cold, the time of snow. It is now. And this time is not a time for building, planting, or creating, because the limbs are tired and the earth is hard as stone. If you like, imagine that you are lying on this hard earth, eyes closed, limbs motionless. You feel you don't want to move anymore right now. Maybe you can't even. You simply lie there, and that is good. Feel the firm surface beneath your body. You don't have to hold anything right now. You don't have to carry anything. You are held, you are carried, and you are protected. surrounded by an impenetrable yet transparent layer, like sleeping Snow White. Snow White, the girl who had to carry too much too early in life. And so the kind, loving girl falls into a deep sleep, a sleep of inner death, of soul winter. Snow White, motionless, covered by a glass coffin and a precious glittering blanket of snow, and the Lord keeps watch. In peace I will lie down and sleep, for you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety. In peace I will lie down and sleep, for you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety. You are not alone. You are surrounded by God's love, watching over you, who never sleeps. He will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. He will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. So the 7 mysterious figures, the dwarfs, watch over their Snow White day and night. Sometimes God is just as mysterious, as unassuming as those 7 dwarfs. We don't see him and feel abandoned, frozen, helpless. But perhaps his wonderful nature shines through the unassuming beauty that surrounds us. This unassuming beauty can show itself in the small wonders of everyday life, in the delicate snowflakes, each tiny crystal unique, in the winter evening sky whose grey gradually turns into shadowy mother of pearl, in the little winter birds rustling in the undergrowth and darting across the paths, in the laughter of children joyfully and carefree sledding down the hill, in the crackling and popping of burning logs in the stove, in the pleasant scent of freshly baked gingerbread with Christmas spices, honey and butter, in the cozy heaviness of down blankets inviting rest. Sometimes it's hard to endure this stillness we find ourselves in. It's tough to bear the soul winter. We cannot shorten it, no matter how much we resist. Perhaps the soul winter simply wants to be embraced. Perhaps it is like a season that comes and eventually passes. It simply belongs to this life, just as winter belongs to the cycle of the year. And even in this, God is by our side, whatever happens, and He knows the times of life perfectly, for He Himself created them. You set all the boundaries of the earth. You made summer and winter. You, Lord, set all the boundaries of the earth. You made summer and winter. And just as nature sleeps and rests in winter, so may you rest now too. You may recover. You may sleep. God demands nothing of you. And don't worry that you might miss something important, for He grants sleep to those He loves. For He grants sleep to those He loves. If you wish, you can now imagine Jesus entering the scene, not to wake you, but to be with you in your resting. He comes to the snowy clearing. He steps into the circle of watchers, He, the Prince of Light, the Prince of Peace. The mysterious dwarfs, unassuming yet faithful and filled with mysterious strength, bow their heads before Him as all creation acknowledges His power and lordship. Jesus approaches the glass coffin with love and at the same time sorrow. He looks at you. He knows your struggles, your wounds, your pain, and He lets you rest. He gives protection and rest like a blanket of snow. He spreads the snow like wool and scatters the frost like ashes. He spreads the snow like wool and scatters the frost like ashes. No one can penetrate the glass wall except him, if you give him permission. Are you ready? If not, simply pause here and enjoy your rest. But if you would like, Jesus now comes very close to you. The glass coffin is no barrier to him, unless you deny him entry, for he respects your boundaries because he loves you. And now he breathes very gently upon you. He gives you a dream. You feel yourself falling into an even deeper sleep, quiet, heavy, dark, but warm and safe. At first in your dream, you see nothing but cold, hardness, and darkness. The earth is impenetrable, hard as iron. Nothing stirs, nothing moves. Everything seems dead, frozen in icy cold of winter. Perhaps there are exactly such places deep within us, where we have lost hope, where we are frozen and ice-bound. Suddenly, you notice something changing in your perception. It's as if you can suddenly look through the frozen exterior of the winter landscape. You now see into the earth, this steel-hard, ice-cold, impenetrable earth that seemed completely lifeless. And what you see is astonishing. Where only death and rigidity seemed to reign, you behold sleeping life, resting roots, dreaming bulbs and tubers, different kinds of small animals, insects, worms, snails, frogs, newts, and much more, resting from the labors of the year. And they worry about nothing. They don't even wait. They simply rest. And in the same way, you may rest now too, even if only for a moment, until the worries and obligations of daily life catch up with you again. These burdens were not laid on you by Jesus. They belong to the toil of life in a fallen creation. If you allow yourself this moment of rest now, you will miss nothing essential. It's not as if you could sleep through an important moment. For when the time comes, you will sprout quite naturally. Just like the little snowdrop bulbs, they don't wait. They sleep, and they will not miss the first signs of spring. They cannot. When the time is right, they will form their leaves and rise from the dark earth all by themselves, and eventually they will bloom, but not yet. All of this becomes clear to you in this dream. You don't have to be strong right now. You don't have to force anything. You may rest without fear. Now you have the chance to consciously enjoy this rest. Feel the firm ground beneath you, holding you. You may let go. Feel the weight of your blanket on you, warming and protecting you. Just as this blanket covers you, so the grace and love of Jesus cover you, if you wish. For God, our need for rest and our state of exhaustion, of soul winter, is no problem. He knows that both belong to this hard life. He will cover you with his feathers, and under his wings you will find refuge. He will cover you with his feathers, and under his wings you will find refuge. Like a young swan climbing onto its father's back and hiding under his wings, so may you crawl under God's wings, take refuge in Him, feel His warmth and protection. Breathe deeply in and out, quite calmly, in your own rhythm and in the way that feels good to you. This isn't about a technique. It's simply about being as you are. Linger a little longer in this rest, as long as you like. Then pause here briefly before we gently end the exercise together. Let us now slowly bring the exercise to a close. Before you open your eyes, gently move your feet and hands, clench them and release them again. You can also softly shake out your limbs a little. Now open your eyes. Look around the room and name 3 beautiful things you see. Then slowly sit up, entirely at your own pace. If you prepared a cup of tea, you can now take it and consciously feel the warmth radiating from it. Enjoy this moment a little longer if you like. Take a sip and feel the pleasant warmth and taste in your mouth. As ordinary and unassuming as this tea warms you from the inside, so God's love is always within you. You may know you are so deeply loved by Him. Return now in peace to your everyday life, beloved soul.